Hey guys, it's Lacey here, and in today's video, I'm going to be demonstrating for all of you how to create a virtual locker assignment that you can give to your students as a way to get to know them during remote learning. Now you see here, I chose to use a locker. I do teach high school. This could very easily be modified for the younger grades. Instead of using a locker, you could find an image of cubbies and you can have students decorate a cubby. Also, instead of having students, which I would do at the high school level, have them search their own images, you could always add in a few extra slides over on the side full of images that are age appropriate for your students, things that you think that they would be into, as a means for them to just be able to copy and paste if they choose to, and then to add whatever other images they want to if they have some help from parents at home. So just kind of a little bit of a alternative to this project. Instead of, like I said, doing the locker, you could do the cubbies. But something that's great about this is that you can also add two types of success criteria for your students to ensure they're doing and they achieve the highest grade that they possibly can for this assignment. One is by what I did here, which is providing a teacher exemplar so that students kind of know what you're expecting. You hold the bar high and then they'll meet you there. Also by adding a rubric. So here I have included a link to a rubric that I added for this. Obviously you don't have to, but just to make sure that, expectations are very clear for students. They want to know how to get that 100%, that A, okay, whatever you're using to grade your students. So I just have here just an example. So just number of elements. So if you said you wanted them to include at least, 10 elements would be like the best. So 10 and up would be, a 4 out of 4. For organization, all elements are visible and organized. They don't have their images stacked on top of one another. Everything is nice and neat. Presentation. So if you want to have them, if you're doing synchronous learning and you might be using Zoom or Google Meets, and you want the students to present it, how many of them did they actually explain and introduce? Did they speak with appropriate volume the entire time so that they were easily understood by yourself and all of their classmates? So these are just some ideas of the different levels that you can use and also the categories. And like I said, I always like to link the rubric for students so that it's right there. There's no surprises. They know exactly what I want from them. So when you're doing this, obviously the first thing you're probably going to want to do is to go and look for an image of a locker. So as I was going through Google Images, obviously I wanted to find one that had an open door. This one was the best one for me. So all I did was I copied, wanted to make sure there was no background. So I went to the website Removebg. I do have a tutorial for that. Also, just quickly, I'll show you here. I was able to remove the background of a photo. Like I said, I do have a tutorial for that where my daughter helped me out and demonstrated how to remove the background from your photos and images. So you might want to check that out. If you're curious as to what that looks like on my channel, that's the video right here. So feel free if you don't know how to do that already. Okay, so now I know I see the little checkered background up here. Now I know that I can just copy and then paste this into my project. Okay, I see that the background is fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to stretch this image to the size that I want it. Okay, also, now actually what would be even better to do, I can actually delete this. What I would actually prefer is to download that image to my computer, because from there, if this is something that you don't want your students to really be able to mess with, you kind of want that locked in the background, my suggestion to you is to then go to Slide and then go into Edit Master. Okay, and then here under Layouts, I'm going to insert an image, upload from my computer. That image I just downloaded from Removebg will be the one on top for me. Okay, and then from here I can go ahead and I can stretch this. Now, the reason I want to do this is because you're obviously going to give your students access to edit this document. Doing this in the master, you'll see when I exit the master, okay, and then I go up to layouts, this becomes one of my layouts because it was created in the master. But now if I try to move this image, it's not going anywhere, okay. So I would also probably have found a clearer image, something that had a better quality, because this one you see as it was stretched, it did lose some of the image quality. So you're going to want to play around with that and find a good one, but definitely something with an open door and definitely something with a little bit of space on the sides. So now that you know that this cannot be moved, then you have to decide. Now see, on my example, I put what I'm expecting from the students and ideas that they can use. However, another alternative that you can do with your students to just, increase the rigor of this activity is to, again, in the master, I'm going to insert a shape. You can also do a text box. Okay, but I'm gonna insert, I'm gonna do a text box. So I'm gonna go back into my master, okay, and then I'm gonna come up here to the little drop down menu next to the text box, and I'm gonna do a body text placeholder. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to stretch this box out, okay, and then don't worry about any of the stuff that pops into the box. When I exit the master, you will not see that. Okay, so if you wanted to have that, you can always color the back white. Okay, once I exit the master, I'm going to show you what that's going to look like. Right there, it says click to add text. So if you wanted your students to decorate the locker and then additionally go ahead and be able to add text, write like a short paragraph about themselves, maybe explaining some of the items that they chose to include in their locker, then this is the place that you're able to do that. And adding it again into the master gives them the ability to write on it, and you won't have to worry about them adding a text box themselves. So we have the rubric, we have the text box. You can go ahead and tell them to add basically anything that they want. You see in my example, I included obviously coffee because, not only America runs on Dunkin', but so does Lisa Mazariego. I coached cheerleading for a really long time. I actually cheerleaded at my alma mater, so I have my high school's logo here. I frequently visit El Salvador with my husband. That's where he's from. Okay, I'm from the United States. Okay, I love pupusas and pizza. Okay, I love Michael Kors. Obviously, I make YouTube tutorials. I have pictures of my family, and I love music. So, this is just a little bit about me. This is a great way for your students to not only show a little bit of themselves to you, but then also for them to get to know each other, because in real life they might be coming from another school. This might be their first time in high school. They may not know everybody. So even though we can't personally connect with each other in a classroom, this is a great icebreaker activity to do with them so that they can kind of like open up a little bit and start off the school year virtually by getting to know each other. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Don't forget to like this video by hitting the thumbs up, subscribing to my channel, and then clicking that little notification bell so that you do not miss my future videos. Thanks, everyone.